How's it going, people? For today's video, we're going to take a look at the new ninja called Snowstrike. You'll be able to get her as a reward from the new Hunt the Titan mini quest line. There's only a total of 3 quests and you'll get her after you complete the 3rd one. Anyways, here's what she looks like when you first get her. And this is what she looks like when she's fully maxed out. The only cosmetic we got was this back bling, and we got it after the 2nd evolution. But this is what she looks like when she's fully upgraded. When it comes to her perks, she has a new perk called North Star, and the standard version of it makes her throwing stars slow enemies for 4 seconds instead of dealing damage. And enemies slowed by the North Star will explode for 167 base water damage if they receive melee damage or damage from another North Star explosion. Additional throwing star effects and damage will be applied during North Star explosions. And her commander perk makes throwing stars freeze enemies for 4 seconds instead of dealing damage. Enemies frozen by North Star explode for 167 base water damage if they receive melee damage or damage from another North Star explosion. Additional throwing star effects and damage will be applied during North Star explosions. So the main difference between the two is the standard perk will only slow enemies. So if you put her in your support team, you're only going to slow enemies. But if you use her as your commander, it'll actually freeze enemies. But everything else looks the same. And for her abilities, she has throwing stars, dragon slash, and crescent kick. For now, while we test it, we're going to use the Happy Holidays team perk. For our support team, we have Swift Shuriken Lamurai, Shuriken Master Sarah, Deadly Star Scorpion, Willow, and Jurassic Ken. And the mission we're going to do is this power level 140 retrieve the data, and Cookies is going to be helping us out. Whenever he gets his ass on.
I gotta bleed the lizard. Ugh.
I don't think it's supposed to bleed. It's supposed to drain the lizard.
Yeah, something like that.
You might want to go see a doctor, homie. But before we get into the gameplay, I do want to show an example of the North Star perk. And first we're going to try it out on this taker. You'll notice when we throw our throwing stars, they don't deal any damage, but they do freeze the husk for 4 seconds. And instead of hitting the taker with our melee, I'm actually going to hit the husk right next to it just to see if our North Star explosion kills the taker. And it looks like it did. So we were able to kill the taker with just our North Star explosion. Also want to try it out against this blaster. And we're going to do the same exact thing. I just want to kill a husk that's close to it to see if we can kill. Oh, and we killed it with our North Star explosion. And I also want to test it out against the Smasher. And again, I just want to see how many North Star explosions we'll need to kill him. So let's go ahead and hit this husky here. And we took over half of his health away with just 1 North Star explosion. And we killed him with just 2 explosions, people. Wow. But yeah, that's what it looks like against power level 140 Mist Monsters. Also want to test it against this Sploder. And again, I just want to see if the explosion will cause the propane tank to explode. So I'm going to hit this husk next to it. And it doesn't look like it will. So you can use entrap tunnels even if there's Sploders in there. I also want to test it out against a large group of regular husks. So we're going to do this big encampment here. And I want to try to complete this entire encampment with just 1 North Star explosion. So I'm going to use my throwing stars on this husky. I'll try to get surrounded by the husk, and then I'm going to hit him with my melee weapon to trigger the North Star explosion. So let's go ahead and use the throwing stars. And wait till the husky get close, use our melee. We did it. Almost died, but we did it. I'm on the brink of death, staring into the light, but we did it. We actually completed that entire encampment with just 1 North Star explosion. So yeah, the North Star explosion is pretty good, people. I'd have to say it's pretty good. It looks like it works on animals. So you can get North Star explosions from wildlife. A couple other things I need to point out when it comes to this North Star explosion is that you can trigger it by not just using melee weapons, but you can also trigger it using your pickaxe. And another way you can trigger your North Star explosion is by using your dragon slash. So it doesn't have to be a melee weapon. It can be an ability, it can be your pickaxe. Dude, it still kills really good, at least when it comes to like regular husks. It doesn't really matter what their element is for now. I think it would mainly matter for like smashers for the most part.
I feel like I want to throw up.
Tell your stomach to get good, scrub. Fire. Oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Because I got a water hero. Alright, let's go ahead and shoot down a balloon.
The balloon has landed.
One thing I should point out is that we don't have a base. But fortunately, I don't think we'll need it. And we're going to try to spam our throwing stars the entire time, as well as our explosion. I want to try to get as many kills, so we're mainly just going to be spamming that and using our spectral blade to trigger. So we're mainly just going to be using our throwing stars. So let's go ahead and use it on this guy. But yeah, when it comes to Snowstrike, I would say she's a pretty good ninja in my opinion. I was really surprised by the amount of damage. Like, look at that. Look how many husks we killed with just one swing of our spectral blade. I was really surprised with the amount of damage we dealt with it. We were also able to kill a blaster and a taker with our explosion. I also really like the fact that we were able to kill a power level 140 fire smasher with 2 North Star explosions. So in my opinion, I feel like she's a pretty decent ninja for most enemies in the game, and I would recommend getting her and maxing her out and trying her out. For those who have gotten her and maxed her out, let me know what you all think about her in the comments below. I wonder if I had a melee defender. Let me put this guy away real quick, unsummon, and I want to see if they can trigger my explosion if I have a melee. And we'll see if she'll go and kill them. Let's see if she can trigger it. But yeah, I would recommend getting Snowstrike. I think she's a really good ninja for groups of regular husks. She's really good for mobs. And she's pretty decent for a couple of the mist monsters too. Alright, let's see if she can get this one. Oh, she can trigger it. Alright, well now we know. Now we gotta smash her. So defenders can trigger it as well. I also like the fact that Dragon Slash can trigger the explosion. Being able to freeze Husk is going to really be useful in certain situations as well. I do kind of wish she had more cosmetics or either edit styles, because we don't have any edit styles and we only got one back bling. Kind of wish she had voice lines too. I'm just now noticing. I haven't heard her say one thing all day today. So I don't think she has voice lines, people. Dude, that is so good. This North Star explosion is so good. One thing I would recommend doing is using the throwing stars and then the Dragon Slash, like a 1-2 punch. Because, like I said earlier, the Dragon Slash can trigger it. So you use one, then you use the Dragon Slash. So you may want to put Dragon Scorch in your support team. And a couple of other heroes I would definitely recommend are Swift Shuriken Lamurai. And I guess you could also use Master Shuriken Sarah and Deadly Star Scorpion. Definitely recommend those. But yeah, when it comes to Snowstrike, I think you want to use your throwing stars, freeze the husk, and then use your Dragon Slash to trigger the explosion. Also, there was sort of a home-based status report that we got today. It's not like a normal home-based status report. It's more like it's just a post on Reddit. I'll leave a link to it though in the description if you want to go check it out. But to sum things up, they pretty much told us that we got a new hero, a new weapon, new mini quest line, and the new Hunt the Titan mission with the new Titan Smasher. But yeah, I'll leave a link to that home-based status report in the description if you want to go check it out. Mini boss is out, Cook. I'm gonna see if I can freeze the mini boss. Wait, which one is he? I think he's the wait. Oh, there he is. He's the big boy. See if we can freeze him. Oh, we can't freeze him. But I wonder if our North Star explosions could deal damage. So if any husks come over here, I'm gonna try to explode them if I can't. You got a slow field, Cook? Drop it on
No, I don't.
Oh, shoot. That's alright. Just go ahead and try to kill him. I don't see any husks getting close anyway. I kind of wish it did freeze the mini boss. I feel like it would be a lot more useful if it did. But yeah, I was really surprised with today's update, man. I feel like we got cool stuff with today's update. I really like the new Titan. Speaking of which, we've done a guide on the new Hunt the Titan mission. If y'all would like to check that out, I'll leave a link to it in the description. I also like the fact that they lowered the amount of XP you need to get to level 50 in Ventures. I feel like today's update was an overall really good update. I think one of the only things I don't like is that it's sort of stuck with water damage. You can't like change the element or, you know, anything like that. It doesn't really matter when it comes to regular Husks because her abilities will kill them anyway. So it doesn't matter if they have a different element. But when it comes to like nature smashers and water smashers, it's not going to be as good. But for everything else, man, the North Star explosion, it doesn't matter if it's just water or not. Like it's still going to be really good. I don't want to say it's powerful because I don't want it to get nerfed, but it's pretty good. It's not overpowered, but it's good. But yeah, that'll do it for our first Snowstrike gameplay. Before I go, I did want to give a huge shout out to everybody who's been using creator code A1. I also want to give a shout out to our YouTube members. And I also want to give a shout out to Cookie for joining. But yeah, that'll do it for this one. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks for watching.